Hello and welcome back to Naka Diaries. It's been a while since I've been in this room, so yeah, let's take the chance to go here. I just wanted to take the chance to update you on the status here, but since it's boring to just have me sitting in a room, I've brought some things to consume over here. I've got these, meat snacks. I think they're like, they're not potato snacks, they're, it says wheat on the ingredients here. But apparently with like fried beef short rib taste, so we'll go with that. And of course a beer. This is my last Kirin special spring design thing. All the beer companies come up with this limited edition spring design when it's spring. So it's got like cherry blossom on here. This is my last one of them, and simply because. You remember the video from Hakodate at the hotel room where we had the burgers and the beer? Yeah, I had some Germans be very, very upset about how that beer happened there. They're like, you are destroying the beer. That was not me. Like, if I had a choice, I would not pour the beer like that. So just to prove it, I've got the beer here that has not been shaken so that I can pour it properly. And I've also got a decently sized glass for once. So I will prove that I can actually not destroy a beer. Look! I can do it without it going all over the place. Cheers! So, yeah, let's try these things out before I get into everything else. Okay, wow, they smell like meat. Like there's a very distinct kind of sauce smell to them, but definitely smell like meat. Kind of look like little bits of meat as well. Wow. Yeah, like the meat flavor is not immediately as strong. It has this very distinct sauce taste. Like if you've ever had yakiniku or any kind of grilled fried meat in Japan, you kind of know how the sauce tastes, but then as it goes on, the actual flavor of meat comes through. I don't know how they do it. I have so many weird flavors of things, like snacks in Japan, and they always actually kind of taste like that flavor is supposed to be. I had potato chips the other day that had the flavor of seafood grill, and they tasted like grilled seafood. I think the main flavor there was kind of mayonnaise, and so that can be basically anything, but it really tasted like grilled seafood. I don't know how they do it. They put weird things in their snacks. Anyway, yeah, I just want to take the chance to give you guys a brief little update on what the status is, how things are going here. So, in last week's video, I mentioned that the state of emergency had been expanded to cover the entire country, and we were kind of waiting for the prefecture government here in Aomori to come up with how they wanted to deal with this. And as I also did mention, the prefectural government did say that prefectural schools had to close. But the schools here in the village are not prefectural schools, they're run by the village. I think that's kind of usually how it works in Japan. Like high schools are run by the prefecture, but elementary and middle schools are run by the individual villages, towns or cities. So given that our schools here are elementary and middle schools, then they were run by the village. And so the state of emergency was declared on Thursday. Then on Friday the prefectural government came out with these general guidelines, and then on Monday the village here decided their things. Like Japanese bureaucracy is not always the fastest thing. But that meant that on Monday they decided that they were going to close the village schools for 2 weeks leading up to Golden Week, which starts in like 1 week from now. Golden Week being this big holiday where everyone in Japan has holidays, and the entire state of emergency is currently scheduled to end at the end of Golden Week, specifically to keep people from traveling all over the country during Golden Week as they would normally do, given that that's when you have time off, so you could go back home and visit your families. But here they decided for those 2 weeks leading up to Golden Week, starting from last weekend, they would close the schools. Except not really, because they're still opening the schools on Fridays. And I don't understand this decision. It's like, we're closing the schools, but then we're bringing everyone in to be together anyway, so what's the point in closing? Yeah, there are many things about how these things are being handled that I do not understand. And it's a bit weird to see when, many European countries have kind of handled it pretty well and are slowly starting to reopen again, and only now is Japan starting to actually close down, but not really, because, yeah. Actually, also a thing that I mentioned about how the whole state of emergency works. What the state of emergency allows the prefectures to do is to tell certain businesses to close. There is a punishment for not closing if the prefectural government tells you to close. And yesterday I heard of the first case where this punishment had been enacted. This was in Osaka. There were 6 pachinko places. Pachinko is this kind of Japanese gambling. 6 pachinko places that had not closed down, and they received their punishment yesterday. The punishment was free advertising. The prefectural governor comes up with a list. These are the 6 places that have not closed. That's it. That's the punishment. So it's like, look, these places are still open. You can go there. Again, maybe this is just me coming from, the European mentality and how I see that countries in Europe have handled this. But it baffles me that they don't just close it down, and if things don't close, they fine them. It doesn't seem like such a big kind of science to figure out how that works. But just saying, oh, look, these places have not closed. How's that a punishment? I don't really get these kinds of things. But yeah, that's basically the situation here. So business is pretty much happening as normal up here. The supermarket is open. They have put these plastic sheets in front of the cashiers, and when you're queuing up to go into the self-checkout area, they have put little strips of tape on the ground so that you're meant to keep 90 centimeters distance, and that's all well and good, but then you go into the self-checkout area and you're all close together anyway, and there are people all over the place. And at the convenience stores, they have also put up these plastic sheets in front of the cashiers, and they don't hand you your change and receipt. They put the change on the tray, and then you take it from the tray, and the receipts will be printed facing towards you, so you take the receipt yourself. So they have changed things around a little bit, and also at the convenience stores they have put these tape strips on the ground to keep distance, but it's really only there. For in the rest of the store, you just walk around as normal, and there are people all over the place, and I'm kind of thinking of it. Just yesterday, for example, I was grocery shopping in the supermarket here, and if I need to pass through an aisle and there are people in the middle of it, well, I will take the next aisle where there are no people, but most of the Japanese people seem to not really do much about it. People do use masks more often, and I have started wearing my mask when I go out, or a mask, because of course these disposable masks are kind of like use it once and then it's done. But yeah, I've started wearing a mask when I go out, not so much for my own sake, but mostly like to show consideration for the others. But there are many of the people here, like the Japanese people here, that actually do not wear masks. I feel better wearing it when I'm outside, simply because it kind of sends this signal of, okay, I'm kind of aware of the situation, I'm kind of considerate about it, even if I don't really believe it's going to do much for me personally. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation. I will say they are not very comfortable wearing those masks. It's really tight against my face, and it bothers my skin. Like the area around here gets all bothered and itchy, and I don't actually know how the color in this camera picks up, but you might see some little like red spots and kind of things that are appearing because of that. And my eyes get really dry because when I breathe, it comes out it comes out along the top of the mask and it goes right into my eyes. So I'm just breathing right into my eyes the entire day, so they get kind of dry, and it bothers me. And the elastic bands bothers my ears as well. So it's like, yeah, it's not nice, but I do it. As I think I mentioned last time, we do wear them. No, actually, I think I forgot to mention that last week, but we do wear them at work. We've been requested to do so. I do wear them for like 9 hours a day. But yeah, it's not comfortable, but you know, there's not much in this situation that's really how we want it to be, is there? Aside from this is how we want it to be. And now, because I just happened to look out the window, that's another thing, that's how we want it to be. The weather today is really, really nice, actually. But it's really weird because the weather for the past week has been strangely cold. There was one week way back at the beginning of April where it was really, really nice, calm, sunny weather, and like at least 15 degrees every single day. And after that, it just went boom, and winter was back. It hasn't been actually freezing. There hasn't been any snow. They have taken the snowplows away. There was a little lot over here where they had the snowplows parked. They're gone. And the little poles on the side of the road with the red and white stripes that they use to mark the sides of the road when there's snow, they have put those down again. But it's still really, really cold. I still most days wear my big winter jacket. I've still got my heating on in the living room here. I still use my winter duvet. I still use my fluffy winter pajamas. It's kind of this weird, strange thing. We were nearing the end of April, but it still feels like winter up here. I'm glad I have a good winter jacket. And this is just ending up with me rambling a lot longer than I had intended, but you know, I just say things as I come up with them. I could make a script or something beforehand, but that's just boring. It's more fun to just talk to you guys about whatever comes to my mind, because then you get the raw, unfiltered me just talking all over the place, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, actually. I think I should probably compromise and stop it here. So thank you very much for watching this status update here, and well, we'll see how things evolve from here, and hopefully eventually I'll be able to make some more interesting content than me sitting in a room and eating snacks that taste like beef and drinking spring beer when it's actually still wintry here, way after spring has actually ended in the rest of Japan. Anyway, thank you, and see you next time. Swoosh!